Hello there, YouTube. Making another video here. Well, this is probably my first official video here. Finally going to show some albums that I have on vinyl. And starting with, one of my favorite genres of all time, psychedelic rock. But this is a mixture of things, not just rock, but some poppy stuff that I consider psychedelic. I'm finally going to be showing you some of the best of my psychedelic collection, and the majority of it as well. Starting with a classic here, I'm going to be showing a lot of underground stuff. Some of these bands you may not be familiar to you, unless you really collect this stuff or listen to it, But I will get into the popular psychedelic rock stuff. But we're going to start with a classic here first, and this one here, everyone knows this, The Doors, man. Jim Morrison and the whole gang. This is a mono pressing of the original version of the album. Elektra label. I found this, actually I found this a couple blocks from my apartment here. They were having some kind of sale one of the summers. I came down here and found this for like $1. So yeah, I get the luckiest deals. You'll find that out as you listen to how I got these records. I get very lucky deals on some stuff. And here we're going to be starting with some reissues and some underground stuff. This one here, all-time favorite, one of my all-time favorites, man. Blue Cheer, Incebus Eruptum. This is an original copy on the Philips label. Just everything about this screams heavy psych. Yeah, I love nearly every cut. This whole thing is tremendously loud for its time. 67, I believe it was recorded. And some of these songs, man, they're progressing onto like heavy metal kind of stuff. A lot of people consider them heavy metal, the first heavy metal band, but in my eyes, I see them as just the heaviest psychedelic rock band. And then I got their next album, Outside Inside. This is an original as well. It's got the sticker on it. There's a bunch of versions of this, I believe, of Outside Inside. And here's the Gatefold, some psychedelic pictures of them. And there's one here as well. And it even opens up more. I just love showing this off. This is a great album. Look at that. It looks like some heavy dudes, don't they? Yeah, I would say I prefer Incebus Eruptum over their second album, but the way I see it, if people want to hear overblown distortion, psych rock, Incebus Eruptum's for them, and if you like something a little more melodic and something more listenable, but still heavy for its time, this one here ties really well with their first album. Heavy stuff. This next one is perhaps, in my top 10 psychedelic albums of all time. Not many people know of this album, I don't think. But this one's a reissue, of course, because this original is very hard to find, I believe, so. But it's Churchill's. Yes. An Israel band. They're from Israel, and don't let the album cover, don't judge it. I mean, this music is very good. I would say, it's a mixture of the Doors' first album and Disraeli Gears by Cream. Disraeli Gears? Yeah. Like I said, a reissue. I love this album so much. It's got like a Middle Eastern feel to it. Since they're from Israel, they kind of have the sound down. But you know, like I said, the vocalist kind of sounds like Jack Bruce from Cream, and just amazing psych. You know, heavy, mellow, a whole mixture of psych here. I think my favorites would have to be Pictures in My Mind. Yeah, Pictures in My Mind, When You're Gone, and Subsequent Finale. You know, yeah, that one's really good. Great stuff. I mean, that was ahead of its time too. The sound quality of that is very good. Check that out if you can. This one here also is, I think it's in my top 10 as well. This one's kind of a mixture of garage rock and psych. And I would also say experimental, you know. Patoof, the Deviants, love this one. This one's it's not an original, no. I was about to say it's an original, but it's not. No, this one's a reissue, and I'm gonna try to show you the full cover art on this thing. Also, I might make this into a 2-part video. I'm not sure how long this is gonna run because I got quite a stack here. Anyways, Patoof by the Deviants. Look at that cover art. It's amazing. Patoof. Led by Mick Farren, who passed away not too long ago. Love it. A lot of people may think this is just the weirdest album out there, and it is. It's a very strange record, but very heavy sounds for its time. 67. And yeah, early punk too. I mean, this is early punk mixed with psych. It's crazy. This one is explosive and a couple mellow tracks, you know, very good stuff. This one here is an original copy. I just got recently. Some of you from Instagram may remember this. I made a big deal about it, but it's the Velvet Underground and Nico original with the peelable banana. It's still intact. The stem is off, but you know, very good. Look at that. Love it. Yeah, this one, I mean, a lot of people love this one, but it took me years. I believe this took me a couple years to fully get into. It's a hard album to listen to at first, you know. Very good though. I mean, over the years, once you discover how much influence this album has made, and what am I trying to say? How much influence it has made, and you know what people think of it, and the story behind the band is very good. You know, Andy Warhol producing in them, and how Lou Reed went off on a solo career. Very good stuff. You know, I would have to say my favorite from here, if I could pick one favorite, I think it would have to be probably Run Run Run. I love that one. It's a kind of garage song, I would say, but very good stuff, you know. Influential album. This next one here, oh, I think this is in my top 10 too, honestly. Or top 2. Did I say top 2? Top 10. Top 10 psych records of all time. This one, a lot of you probably think this is the strangest album, you know, if you've heard it, but I love this stuff. This is really good. Pretty's For You, Alice Cooper, his first album. Back when he was psychedelic, man. This is good stuff. Love it. I mean, look at this. No song listing on the back, just Alice Cooper, Pretty's For You. Oh, that cover looks convincing. But yeah, this is... Oh man, I listened to this so many times. Like, it's very weird to describe it. It's like there's British influences all over this, you know, somewhat a Beatles sound, kind of like the Beatles are on drugs kind of sound, mixed with early Pink Floyd. It definitely has that feeling to it, and yeah, I love this. This is my favorite Alice Cooper album. I mean, I think it's much better than his glam rock stuff, honestly. And I wish they would. I think the CD version of it too is kind of hard to find. I had the CD too. I had to get the vinyl. I think this is an original. I'm not sure. This is on the yellow label. Straight yellow label. And I've seen some copies, you know, where it's kind of purple or pink and it has straight, like, vertically on the label. I don't know which one's an original. If you do, let me know. I'm not sure. This one I got really recently as well. Methuselah, I think is how you say it. Yeah, this is a good one too. Not many people know about this one. They look like a heavy metal group, don't they? But they're pretty much psych rock. I'd say a little proggy as well. A little prog rock. Kind of has a, you know, gospel feel to it, as you can tell. I think Methuselah means something I honestly don't know, but the whole side one, great stuff. Basic hard rock, you know, it's a pretty good one, I would say. This one's an original as well, on the red label. Haven't listened to this too much though lately, but I shall return to it sometime very soon here. This next one here I got is Steve Morgan. This one here is a pretty well-known underground one. Has the Scream painting on it. Very original. But no, the music is very good, you know. For underground psych rock, every single cut off this is brilliant, you know. Welcome to the Void of Dreams, you know. Begging your pardon, Miss Joan. My favorites, I can't pick a favorite from here, but I would say Purple or Eternity in Between is my favorite. This is a reissue, by the way. It looks original, but it isn't, I promise. ABC Probe label. I love the heavy psych records on the ABC labels, like Maximilian, Eden's Children. I love that stuff. I need to get those records yet. I would love to have those. And sorry if I'm, you know, going a little slow on this. You know, if you expected really fast, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to, you know, just, you know, describe them, you know, to people and recommend things, what they sound like, you know. I'm trying my best, but this one here is an original, and I'm not sure if it's my most valuable or not, but it's definitely a heavy one and one that people seek out for, and it's the Firebirds, Light My Fire. This one here is heavy for its time. It's one of those exploitation albums, you know, you find back in the 60s at the grocery store or something, selling them really cheap. You know, trying to imitate the sound of the times, you know, the 60s. But this one here, besides the hit, Light My Fire, is an instrumental. Okay, what a ripoff, you know. But what contained in this album features, you know, heavy psych, man. This one, I don't know if it leads towards heavy metal, but it's blue cheer heavy, you know. I don't know, there's some sloppiness to it, you know, the recording that, you know, makes it really unique and just primitive as it is, you know. I would say the best cuts off here, Reflections and Gypsy Fire, and my favorite, No Tomorrows. Very heavy. Those are like the heaviest tracks here. Still looking for the 31 Flavors as well. Look this band up, you know, if you're into that sort of thing. Has kind of, you know, blue cheer, like I said. A little on the Hendrix side as well. One of the most sought out heavy psych records, I think. Love this stuff. This one here is kind of similar. Well, it is similar, but it's a different artist though. TSwift in the Electric Bag with Are You Experienced? Jerry Cole, who did a lot of different things, like exploitation kind of things. He was with the Animated Egg as well. His session members playing this record, I believe. It's got some good ones on it, you know. Expo and Sound, that to be my favorite off here. As I Grow Into a Man is a good one. It's not heavy, but it's a good one off here. Yeah, an original as well. It's a very good one. Another original. This band, I don't know. It's very good, but I wouldn't say it's one of the best psych records out there. But it's still good, you know. It's Clear Light with Clear Light. It's their one and only album on the Elektra label. A pretty good band. This one does take a little while to get into as well. At least for me, it did. A lot of members in this band as well, you know. This one here is another original. It's Mass in F minor by the Electric Prunes on Reprise. Very good stuff. A lot of people may not like David Axelrod's contributions to the band, but I think it's good either way. I mean, their early records are, you know, classic psychs, you know, but the later stuff with David Axelrod I think is just as good. You know, it has some orchestral work, but I just seen some people's responses and they don't love this as much. I mean, I think it's still really good. It kind of has an early prog flavor to it, I would say. I'm not going to pull it out. It's kind of a hard one to get out, but yeah, I love this one. Almost my favorite. I think Underground's my favorite, but this one is really close. Here we're kind of getting to more well-known territory though. This one here, can't have a psych collection without it, you know. Iron Butterfly, Inagata Vita. This is an original as well. Got this at an auction. And yeah, it's classic psych. If you haven't heard it, man, what the hell's wrong with you? No. But seriously, I mean, it's a classic. Fits right in with the other ones here. And I have their next album, Ball. It's good. I wouldn't say it's their best, but it's kind of, I think it's more mellow if I remember right. It's a little more mellow than their first two albums, so yeah, check it out. And then the last Iron Butterfly I have, I'm still looking for Heavy, their first album, but Iron Butterfly Live. This one's fairly good. I don't like the live version of Inagata Vita. I don't know, something about it just does not sound as good in my personal taste, you know. But no, look at that cover though. That is crazy. I love looking at the album covers too. I mean, you could just stare at them and see new things in them, like Blue Cheer's Outside Inside. I discovered a lot of new things just looking at that for like 5 minutes. You know. This one here, I think I paid $3 for it. Crimson and Clover. Tommy James and the Shondells. Love the title track. I think it's my favorite by them as a whole. I love the later part of the song where it goes wow 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 wow. You know, kind of just has like just that psychedelic feel. It's just a lot of floating melodies and really dreamlike at some points. I Am a Tangerine, great one as well. And of course Crystal Blue Persuasion. I mean, And I love the album cover too. I mean, that is psych right there. This one I found at Goodwill. I think I paid however much they offer. I think it's 25 cents, 50 cents. Yeah, Elephant's Memory. But this one, I think this was promoting the band after the release of Midnight Cowboy, the movie, and oh my god, I love the song Old Man Willow. It's like one of my favorite psychedelic tracks ever. They kind of have a jazzier sound to them, a little jazz rock mixed in with psych pop. Not too much hard rock, but you know, still very psych. I think they were kind of promoting themselves or their first album, is my guess. You know, good stuff. Yeah, this works. This is psych. Let me get this back on the album here. This one here, this is a Detroit-based band, Frigid Pink. I would say they're on the garage rock side, but definitely psych feel to it, you know. Blues rock mixed with a little boogie rock. Not the type of boogie rock, you know, Foghat does, you know. This is the good boogie rock. Parrot Records is also an original. I think I paid 20 for this. You know, I love it. So, End of the Line, I Want to Be Your Lover, Crying Shame. A lot of highlights on that. This one here, I think I paid 5 for this. Cheap Thrills, Big Brother and the Holding Company. Love it. Yeah, I've really gotten into this one lately. Look at that cover there, the Gatefold. Great stuff. Got Janice on the back. Yeah, I love the whole thing. It's really good. I don't know too much about this band, but I had heard their name and seen some of their albums, but I never really dug into them. So I just gave it a try, you know. Jungle Marmalade by the Lemon Pipers. I think I've only heard this whole thing once, honestly. I had heard of the band before, but you know, never really dug into their stuff until I found this, you know. I think I only paid $2 for it. Yeah, I'll have to return to that soon. Here we got some really well-known ones. You can't have a psych collection without this. Sgt Pepper, the Beatles. I think this is an original. Funny story with this album. I found this album cover. You know, it's a fairly decent shape. You know, I found the album cover just by the album cover alone at a store, and you know, they said I could have it free because there was no record in it. Funny thing is, I went to another store the next day and found this in the free pile, just the record itself, you know, without the sleeve, and it's fairly good condition. I mean, if you can see it there, it's fairly good in condition, both the sleeve and the record. So I got both of this free at 2 different places in the free pile. Like I said, I get lucky deals. It's weird. And then this next one here, classic as well. Are You Experienced? Jimi Hendrix Experience. Nice resume, Mr. Hendrix, but are you experienced? Purple Haze, you know, every single song off here, great. Third Stone from the Sun, I think is my favorite off here. It's the instrumental. It's got a lot of great atmospheric kind of thing going on, you know, like you're in space or something. Great one, you know. I don't know if this is an original or not. It's got a different label, but this is like I think it's the later reprise label. I'm not sure, but either way, it's still a older copy of it. Classic, you know. Or wait, I think my favorite from here is I Don't Live Today. Yeah, that one's my favorite off here. This one here is a good one as well. Probably my least favorite of the three that Jimi Hendrix Experience made, but Access Bold as Love. Still very good, but I prefer their other two. It's kind of in beat shape, as you can tell. But it's still Hendrix, man. I would open it up all the way, but it's kind of split here, so I don't want to damage it, so I'll just show you both sides. I used to have a poster of this hanging in my room. She's So Fine. Noel Redding's contribution. Love that song. I think that's my favorite off there. And of course the last one. I don't think this is original. This is Polydor label, but you know, Electric Ladyland by Hendrix. Where's the other side? Or wait, there we go. Yeah, 2 albums set. You know, what more could you ask from Hendrix? So it's like, geez, slow down, Jimmy. Yeah, Polydor label. My favorite from here would have to be Voodoo Child, and not Voodoo Child Slight Return. Yeah, Voodoo Child, the 15-minute jam is my favorite off here. Love that one. This group isn't too well known, but The Circle, Neon. I haven't listened to this too many times, but it was pretty good. When I remember, it's kind of like poppy stuff with a mild psych feel, you know, light pop kind of stuff. This is the original. I found this at a very good price. I think I paid $2 for it. And yeah, this one's psychedelic as well. Ramblin Gamblin Man by Bob Seger System. Had to pull this one out. This one here is his best work in my eyes, you know. I don't think this is an original, but it's a later pressing from the 80s, I think. Something like that. Love this one, man. What's the track? White Wall, and just the whole side 2 is just like one song to me. It's just endless psych rock mixed with kind of garage flavor, but you know, the Detroit roots here, the Ann Arbor sound of the time. I mean, this is when he was really rocking. I'm not a huge fan of Silver Bullet Band, you know, his later stuff. You know, 2 or 3 songs maybe, but you know, I never got into that. And here, I don't have the originals of this. It's kind of like as a set here, but it's Pink Floyd, A Nice Pair. It's both Piper at the Gates of Dawn and A Salsa for Secrets as one. A Nice Pair. Uh, this is psychedelic, I'd say. That's why I included it here. But Let's Live for Today by TheGrassroots. I used to love this band, man. Like, if I have to say if I had to choose one of the first groups I ever listened to on vinyl, these guys, Grassroots. This was like the second record I bought of theirs. I had bought Lovin' Things, and then I bought the 45 of Temptation Eyes and Keeping Me Down. I loved that 45 so much. I wanted to find their records, and I did. House of Stone is the highlight for me on here. You know, one of the very few garage cuts they did, you know, it's a very good one. I think we're just about done. We're getting there. This one here, Steppenwolf 7. Very good one. Psychedelic, you know. Look at that cover. Yeah, it's got the infamous Gatefold cover there. You can, I won't say what it is, but look it up. Yeah, it's Steppenwolf. I think this is one of their last albums, right? I think it was made in '71, I believe. But no doubt this one here is my favorite by Steppenwolf. Early Steppenwolf. This is back when they were known as the Sparrow, back in '67, when they were playing at like some clubs in San Francisco, I believe. Yeah, this is very early Steppenwolf. Mostly jam band kind of stuff, you know, mixed with some psych, some blues stuff. Features a 21-minute long version of The Pusher. It's most known for, and not the best track on the album, but definitely the biggest cut out of the album. And surprisingly, this is the only Jefferson Airplane album I have. The worst of Jefferson Airplane. You know, they're psych rock and, you know, one of the more well-known, innovative groups of that time. And yeah, I'm not a huge Jefferson Airplane fan. You know, as surprising as that sounds, you know, you think I would love them since I have such a interest in psychedelic music, but honestly, not the huge. Just about done here. This one here is progressive rock, but you know, it's got psychedelic written on it. King Crimson. In the court of the Crimson King. Yeah, great stuff. You know, this one's kind of jazzy as well. It's got jazz influences, of course. Look at that album cover, man. It's a classic. You know, if you're looking for a starting place in progressive rock, look here. Yeah, it's on that label. I think I paid $6 for this. 600? No, $6. I think we got 3 left. I think. This one here. Yeah, I was wondering if it's psychedelic or not, but yeah, it definitely plays in. Shades of Deep Purple, their first album. Found this at Goodwill. At first, funny thing with this one too, I just found the album cover, you know, no record in it, and I was like, what? Where's the damn record? So I, you know, looked for it in a bunch of different racks and stuff, and finally found it. I had to have it, you know. This is without a doubt my favorite Deep Purple album. This is when they were really good. I mean, they were good up till Who Do We Think We Are, I think. And then stuff went downhill from there. In my eyes, you know. I'm not not the hugest Deep Purple fan, but you know, I love their early stuff. You know, it's kind of early prog and, you know, psychedelic, of course. Their first 3 albums, great. Yeah, I haven't heard this in a long time either, but you know, I think it definitely plays in psychedelic. In the Search for the Lost Chord, Moody Blues. Yeah, found this at a used record shop, and I think I paid $5 for it. I think. Yeah, love the album art. And then something's cut out here. I'm not sure. I don't know the history of the vinyl record itself, but someone cut this out. Was there something here? Because it looks like something was here. I don't know. I have a feeling there was, but yeah, Moody Blues. And yes, the last one here. It's 2 records in one, but this is the early Steve Miller Band when they were psychedelic. Children of the Future. It is my favorite album by them. You know, I like his later stuff too. You know, Fly Like an Eagle kind of stuff. I like that stuff too, but this is when they're really good. I mean, Living in the USA. I think that was his minor hit at the time, or what got him popularity, I think. But yeah, love their style and look at the time, you know. And this is a later pressing as well, I believe. I think this was reissued in the 80s or something. Children of the Future. I would say Children of the Future are kind of, you know, psychedelic of course, but, you know, early progressive rock as well. I can see that. So, yeah, like I said, that's not all my psychedelic records. Of course, you know, I have 2 different locations of where my vinyl records are placed at. But yeah, that's like the biggest stuff from my collection, and it keeps building, you know. I hopefully can find a lot more in the future and get rid of like a lot of other stuff, because you know, I don't want a really huge collection, but you know, I just want to get more lesser known groups, because there's a lot of forgotten bands and stuff that needs to get recognized, you know, because there's a lot of amazing stuff that we don't know about, you know. So thanks for watching. You know, I'll make more of these kind of videos, you know, something like showing off my Black Sabbath collection, my AC/DC collection, something like that, you know. Show you a bunch of variety of things that I have in my collection. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day.